iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Good evening, hello and welcome to V8 Online's live coverage of the iRacing official V8 Supercar Series. Tonight we have round 9. We're at Monza once again. Jay Kennedy, Cameron Dance here in the booth for what's going to be an interesting night. Sprint race with a pit stop. It's going to be a little bit of a mixed up field, I think. Good evening, Cam.
Yes, indeed. Good evening, Jay. Yes, indeed. It's going to be quite an interesting race tonight, with it being a little bit of a shorter race, only being at 17 laps. It's going to need one pit stop. The guys will probably pit around lap 9, so the halfway mark of the race. Although, with that said, it's going to be interesting to see who can actually save the most fuel and make it a pit stop as short as possible, because it's going to be one of those things, especially at a draft track like Monza, where the amount of time on track is going to be crucial to a position on track.
And the first lap times are just starting to file in for the drivers, and we've seen, I think, 5 or 6 different names at the top of the timesheets. We saw Marlon McMullen, then Emily Jones, Kurt Stenberg, and now Jake Burton leading the way. So it's definitely going to be a very mixed up field, depending on how you actually know your lap. A lot of guys would have been doing practice with a lot of draft, especially with V8 Scops last night. Completely polar opposite doing qualifying laps with no one around tonight.
Yeah, definitely. It's a little bit of a different ball game tonight for a number of these guys that have been racing it in Scops over the weekend. So, going to be interesting to actually see who's actually going to have the best straight line spin that can actually put out a good top lap time, as Jacob is currently the one that is leading the way with a 47.954, and Dane Warren's actually just gone to second with a 1 minute 48.235. So a little bit of time between those two, and it's looking like Burton's got this one so far.
Yeah, at the moment it's Burton's. He's actually finished his laps. Dane Warren's just spun on his second flying lap, so it pretty much leaves Hobson and Stenberg, as well as Preston and McMullen, the ones that may improve, as McMullen's finished as well. Stenberg's finished too. Emily Jones has done her second lap. She's already done. Stephen Lattimore, great job from him. He's currently in 6th position. Good to see him up a bit higher up than what we would normally see him. So this could be a good show for him.
Yeah, it definitely is. He's currently sitting 6th at the moment as he comes into pit lane. Doesn't bother with a second lap. But yeah, he's actually done quite a good lap there. So going to be interesting to see whether he can convert that into race pace and actually get quite a decent result here.
So Hobson comes across the line. He's completed the second lap, so he must be feeling confident. No improvement though. This only leaves 2 drivers left to post a lap time. Sergio Mayo, but it looks like he's complete as well. And Thomas Hinds will be the last driver to complete his qualifying run. He jumps up to 9th, so good job from Hinsey.
Yeah, very respectable lap time there. Only a second off Burns, so nothing to complain about too much, especially with the fact that the draft is going to factor in quite a bit come the race.
On board with Ross Rizzo to complete his second flying lap. It looks like it won't be an improvement for him. He's into the 150s already, so I don't think this will be an improvement unless there's some sort of glitch with the timing. No lap time, so definitely no improvement. Brett Loxton will be the last driver to post a lap time. Of course, Loxton won the second split race in V8 Scops last night, so in a bit of form at this track. See what he can do. Best lap is a 49.3. Crosses the line, he's going to improve here. Up 1 spot to 14th. So that will be it by the looks of it. Vlasic will be the last driver to come across the line, but I think that's his 3rd lap, so yes, won't be counting for him. Yeah. So we'll run through the starting grid. Jake Burton will start this one from pole, from Dane Warren in 2nd, Brenton Hobson in 3rd position, and then we've got Kurt Stenberg in 4th, got Emily Jones 5th, Stephen Lattimore in 6th position. Good to see Jones and Lattimore with good qualifying runs in this one. Martin Carroll 7th, Corey Preston in 8th, Thomas Hinds in 9th, Marlon McMullen down a little bit from where he would like to be, starting 10th. Then Taliancic, Emerson, Rizzo, Loxton, Blythe, Blackburn, Baker, Webster, Sharp, Jones, McKnight, Vlasic and Mayo. As you said, sprint race, most drivers will pit at pretty much the halfway point of this one. Not too many other strategy games will be played tonight. Most guys will split it in half, especially with the way the tyres wear at this circuit. But you never know, some guys will play a little bit of a funky strategy game, especially if they can get some draft and save a little bit of fuel. They might be able to pit 1 lap earlier.
Yeah, definitely. That draft is definitely going to be a factor in this race. Going to be interesting to see who can actually save a bit of fuel and also possibly get an extra lap out of it at the end. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out for a number of guys.
Just waiting for the last of the drivers to hit the grid. And we will be ready to go. Don't forget, we've got live timing available up on our website at v8online.com/live-timing. and keep up to date with everything happening on the track. Which we know there will be plenty with 17 laps of carnage and chaos. 23 V8 supercars in the race tonight. And here we go. Good jump from both of our front runners. Have a look at Lattimore making a way through the middle.
And Preston as well. Very good start from those two.
Dane Warren's got a good jump in the second phase. He's going to try around the outside into turn 1. A little bit of contact back in the field, but it looks like we're through fairly clean. Craig Jones actually a little bit of damage to the front of his car, so it's been shuffled back and Burton's pulled away now.
Pulled a bit of a gap, and it's looking like pretty much everybody else has made it through. Emily Jones is going to go up the inside of Stephen Lattimore though at the second chicane, so she'll take back the position.
Front three are broken away now. And Stenny's been the biggest loser out of this start. He's dropped from 4th back to 8th. And Emily Jones, Stephen Lattimore and Corey Preston have taken advantage. Front three fairly settled, but have a look at Preston here. He's got a very, very good run. Should get this move done. Lattimore up the inside. Easy move done.
Yeah, it's looking like he's got it down low. Lattimore possibly could get a run here. Oh, Preston's run very wide. Possibly just a little bit of oversteer. He's corrected and managed to hold on to it, but he's definitely lost a bit of ground to Lattimore, and Lattimore's managed to get back by now.
Have a look at Marty Carroll.
Oh, that was very close. Paul Stenberg there moving to the inside. He's possibly...
Oh, Marlon.
Marlon, I think, actually making a very good move there in the background.
And I think Preston's got a slowdown from running so wide, and that's why he's had to check up right at the end of that, right at the breaking point of turn 1. And that's dropped him all the way back to 9th, so he lost 4 spots then. At the front, Burton, Warren, Hobson. Starting to stretch a little bit between all of those cars, and Burton and Warren, I think they've almost broken the draft on Hobson now.
Yeah, they've pulled a fairly decent gap this stage, so they could very well start to pull away from Hobson. If Hobson can just hold on a little bit more, he should be able to possibly gain back up to them, but we'll have to see what happens here. Emily Jones also not too far behind Brenton Hobson as well, so she could possibly become a factor in this for a fight in the podium.
Well, she's closed up a fair bit in the second half of this lap, so see whether she can close that gap. And Warren, I think he might have a bit of a run here. Big draft advantage. We'll see if he can potentially get a move done. We've completed 2 of these 17 laps already. Here we go. We saw last night a lot of drivers able to hold it around the outside here. But Burton's not going to be able to, so Dane Warren now leads this race.
He's actually got a decent exit as well, so he's managed to get a bit of a gap between himself and Burton as well.
Well, Burton tried that little bit of a funky line, and I think he had to check up a little bit more than expected to avoid contact. But in saying that, Burton's starting to close up pretty quickly here.
Yeah, possibly Warren ran a bit wide there, and that's allowed Burton to close right on up. Not going to possibly look at Lesmo. That wouldn't be the brightest idea. So you'll probably have a look at Ascari or possibly turn 1 again.
And Hobson's closed back up as well, and Emily Jones is coming along. So We're going to have a proper front four fight for the lead in a little while, I believe. Jones has broken away from Lattimore and Stenberg's come back through. Said he dropped back to 8th and he's now looking at making a move. No, backs out of it. Usually ends in disaster looking at making a move there, so glad Stenny got back into line. Go back to the front though, Burton. Right there now. Will he be able to make a move with this draft? Down the front straight once again.
He's on the inside and it's looking like he's got a decent run here, so should be able to get a move done. Although Dane Warren is looking to the outside. It looked like he was going to be going down the middle of the racetrack there, but never mind.
Burton's got out of the throttle early, so saving fuel for Burton. You can see in the background, side by side, Lattimore and Stenberg. And Stenberg now gets the move finished. They were side by side pretty much the whole way. Oh, it's Lattimore, big moment.
Very lucky there.
That's scary when you light the rears up. You know you've got cars so close around, and did a good job to recover it. He's only lost the one spot to Martin Carroll, but just behind, have a look at Corey Preston, Marlon McMullen. Preston off in the dirt to try and work her way around, and oh, Stenberg's gone straight ahead. And this is going to check up this pack. Oh, this is messy. And somehow Stenny stayed ahead of all of them. And Martin Carroll's lost out.
Yeah, Stenny's been very lucky to get away with that one, but he's now got quite the train of cars behind him, so he'll have to be very careful not to have anyone make a move on him.
So this is a 7-car battle now between Stenberg, Lattimore, McMullen. Oh, we've got an issue. Michael Taliancic and John Emerson have both been involved in some sort of issue. Taliancic has a massive plume of smoke coming out of the rear of that car.
Yeah, it's looking like Emerson and Taliancic have come together entering the Ascari chicane, and Taliancic ran a little bit wide and left the door open, and Emerson tried to make a move, but just unfortunately a little bit of contact between the two of them, and they've ended up in the wall. So not quite the most ideal situation you want to be in there.
Tyler Blackburn was the one that made heavy contact with Taliancic that has caused the engine issue. And Martin Carroll, Corey Preston, there's an issue for those guys as well, so we'll get that in just a moment.
Looked like Corey Preston just struggled to get the thing pulled up under brakes, and unfortunately collected Martin Carroll in the process, unfortunately.
Cut Price Racing replay on screen. Preston probably was a little bit distracted from the car of Thomas Hinz up the inside. Didn't know which way to go or where to go or what to do, and he's ended up making fairly heavy contact with Carroll, and then Riley Blythe coming through has made contact as well. And Preston's now dropped all the way back to last car, and just seeing as well Mario Vlasic has had an issue and gone through the second chicane. So we go back to the front. It looks a little bit more spread than what it was last time we looked.
Yeah, it does actually a little bit. I'm not sure what's actually going on in the past lap, but those gaps have definitely spread out a little bit.
Even Emily Jones has dropped off the back of Brenton Hobson, so front four probably playing a bit more of a fuel strategy game at this point as well. So
yeah, we're about roughly 3 to 4 laps away from seeing guys come into the pits for their compulsory pit stops, so probably wouldn't be a bad idea to start saving a little bit of fuel here and there to get a short pit stop.
In a tenth of a second is all you're going to need to save. Potentially jump someone in the pit stops. A tenth of a second shorter stop can make all the difference at this track. It's the difference between being in draft range and seeing the car ahead just drive on by. So it's Warren leading from Burton, Hobson and Jones, your top four. Stephen Lattimore and Marlon McMullen side by side, and Lattimore lets McMullen through. Of course, McMullen and Warren are in a bit of a championship fight at the moment too, so a good result for Warren is essential for him to get the championship back on track after a couple of bad weeks. And Marlon's been pretty consistent. This is the lowest we've seen him throughout this championship, so saying that, he's working his way forward. He started in 10th, he's already up to 6th.
Yeah, so that's definitely quite an impressive start. Well, drive for McMullen there, and with him leading the championship by actually a fair decent amount, it's going to be definitely helping him in this situation at the moment with him being in 6th.
Because drop rounds now into play, so Warren having a few zeros next to his name for the championship standings will mean that big results in what is a fairly strong field for the V8 Supercar Series. 36-36 is the strength of the field as Warren and Burton side by side. Burton just pulled it up there. I didn't think he was going to.
He managed to get it around the outside actually, which was quite good to see. I'm not sure if Dane maybe had a slowdown or something, but he did look like he was a little bit slower down the front straightaway there.
Oh, bump drafting.
Bump drafting as well. So definitely nose to tail stuff here between these two.
Good battle between these two, just a bit of friendly sportsmanship. It's almost like banter, isn't it? Just the old bump draft down the straight.
Yeah, these two, we were going at it in Scops over the weekend, so we're having a bit of fun here tonight as well.
Apologies for everyone watching on our Facebook stream that we haven't had any audio for broadcast. Our apologies for that. We've got that sorted now. So we approach the point of the race now where we will see pit stops start to happen. Completed 7 laps. So the end of the next lap, I would be guessing half the field will come in.
Oh, Hobson getting very close on the brakes now. He's right there actually with Burton and Warren actually. So he's possibly going to start to affect this little battle here. Although he hasn't got that great of an exit out of turn 2 there. So hasn't really been able to capitalise on going deep under brakes.
Warren looks like he's ready to pounce, isn't he? Just waiting for the right moment. Might use this lap to save a dash of fuel. And Hobson's right in this now. So the draft will definitely be back in Hobson's range again after dropping back. Burton and Warren fighting like this now. This is going to help Hobbo.
Yeah, it is actually, and Hobbo's actually quicker than Dane here, so definitely going to be interesting to see what can happen here between Hobson and Warren in the next couple of laps.
Yeah, Hobson is the fastest driver on track at the moment, so we'll see whether he can take advantage of that. We'll see if anyone dives into the pits this time or waits another little moment. In comes Burton, in comes Hobson. Oh, Hobbo almost into the back of Jake Burton. In comes Emily Jones as well. Stenny stays
and
out.
McMullen
McMullen in. Lattimore in.
Oh, McMullen's looped it in pit lane. Right at the entry as well.
Wow, that's potentially championship changing that issue for Marlon McMullen. So, yeah, a quick cut price racing replay. He just locks the rears and around it goes.
Yeah, Lattimore actually did a very good job to avoid that. He was very lucky not to have actually made any contact. So he's got away with that one quite luckily.
Have a look at how close Hobson is now.
He's very close. He's actually done quite well to gain a bit of time in the pit stop there. So going to be interesting to see what happens in these next few laps. And I'd say Warren's probably going to come in this lap because he's going to have to, or he'll probably have to push it across the line.
It's a 2/10 quicker stop for Hobson, and that's meant that he's well and truly on the back of Jake Burton now. So I'll see what Dane Warren does here. We're 99% sure he'll be in the lane right now. So here we go. What will Warren do?
He's holding the inside, so here he comes in a pit lane. And I'd say Stenny will follow him in as well. Yes, he does.
So we'll see how long Warren stops for. It's a scarily long pit lane, this one at Monza. It absolutely hurts so much when you're sitting there driving down at 65 odd k's an hour. But Warren still stopped as Burton and Hobson come back onto the main straight. Warren still stopped and still stopped. This is a long stop, 3 seconds longer. And it's really going to hurt Dane Warren here. Burton goes by, Hobson goes by, and Emily Jones is going to get past Dane Warren here as well, I think.
Yes, she is. So Dane's actually lost out majorly here. Possibly took on a little bit too much fuel.
And Lattimore looks like he's ended up being a pretty big winner out of this stop as well, because he's come out a fair bit ahead of Ross Rizzo Thomas Hinds and not far behind Kurt Stenberg. But the battle for the lead now is between Jake Burton and Brenton Hobson.
Yeah, so this is actually quite a little bit of an interesting battle here. And with the pace that Hobson's got, it's going to be actually very interesting to see whether he can actually get by Burton.
And Hobbo had an absolutely terrible night last night, so he's looking for a bit of redemption as well. So this will be really helping the confidence levels as we approach the end of this championship. This is round 9, so only 3 more weeks left after tonight. Interlagos next week. Phillip Island and Road America to finish it off. So some pretty enjoyable tracks in this car in the final 3 weeks of this series. It's going to be very, very close. It's going to be very, very fun. Hobson, big moment, big wiggle. Unable to get the traction down. It's compromised his exit. He won't be able to get a run here, but Dane Warren has got a run.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistake there from Hobson. That's allowed Jake Burton to pull away, but Warren's going to be able to look to the inside of Emily Jones here as they head down towards the turn 1-2 complex. And it looks like Dane's managed to get it done before they even get into the corner, so he will move up back into the podium.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Warren to catch up. It's 3 seconds behind the car of Brenton Hobson. So that 1 lap difference, that undercut, plus the longer stop, has cost Dane Warren about 3 seconds. Okay, we've got a battle for first, battle for third. Also got a battle for 8th and 9th as well. Thomas Hinds and Martin Carroll have come out pretty much together after the pit stops. Battling pretty hard. And Riley Blythe, Brett Loxton, they're also pretty close as well. Biggest mover in the field is Jamie McKnight, up into 13th position, started in 21st, so McKnight's been the biggest winner out of this race so far.
Slow down.
Yeah, just noticed that. And through goes Emily Jones back into third. A quick cut price racing replay. That'll also put Warren out of the draft range of Emily Jones.
Yeah, so that's definitely not been too ideal of a situation for Warren there. So they have his work cut out to try and catch back up at the stage, but he's looking very strong under brakes and he's managed to close back up quite quickly. So could possibly see him actually get back by.
Another slowdown.
Oh, and he's got another slowdown.
That's
so too slow.
Oh, that's shocking luck for Warren. At least we know that he's pushing to the absolute limit, because you don't get slowdowns that quickly when you're not pushing extremely hard. As we go back to Riley Blythe, Brett Loxton side by side, and still side by side coming out of the first chicane. Drag race.
Nice. Got a exit here, although he's got a bit of damage and he's going to be on the outside, but if he can hold it round the outside, he'll be on the inside for next chicane. Oh, a bit of wheel-to-wheel contact there. Lucky to get away with that, but he's going to be on the inside and he's going to try and get by, but he's not quite done it. And Loxton's going to get by.
Oh, Loxton's slow down.
Ahead.
So Loxton will get a slowdown penalty. He'll have to tuck back in behind. Maybe be lucky enough to stay beside. No, he's tucked back in behind. So good battle though for these guys. This is for 11th and 12th. And Jamie McKnight and John Emerson behind are starting to close up on these guys as well. So we could see a 4-car battle here in the next little while. So we approach 5 laps to go in this race. Amazing how quick this one is flying by. At the front, Hobson not quite able to match Jake Burton at the moment. They're pretty much identical lap times, but Hobson not able to use this draft advantage that he's got, because it is very extreme, this draft. Side by side again, Loxton and Blythe though.
Yeah, those two are actually having a good old royal battle here between each other. Blythe's going to be on the outside here, trying to get as close as he can, or tucking right in behind Loxton there. He's possibly going to be able to get a move done into turn 1. He's going to be on the inside and Loxton's going to be on the outside. Although Blythe's still got a little bit of damage on that front
change for the lead, change for the lead. Oh, round goes Blythe. We've got to change for the lead. Jake Burton's got a slowdown penalty. We'll get 2 quick cut price racing replays.
No, he hasn't actually. He's lost it big time under brakes. The rears are locked and then he's just gone pretty much off the track and into the dirt actually.
Quickly get one of the incident we were watching, and then we'll go back to the front. Here we go. This is the lead changing big Tokyo Drift session for Jake Burton. He did a good job to compose himself and get it back onto the track fairly quickly. He's lost about 2.5 seconds from that, but back going again in the right direction. And Dane Warren's back on the tail of Emily Jones now as well, so we're going to have 2 very interesting battles with 4 laps to go for your podium spots. Will Warren be close enough to potentially make a move? Not yet, but it won't be too long before Dane Warren will be there in range. Saying that, he's closed up a fair bit under brakes then, didn't he?
Yeah, he did actually. So, going to be interesting with the number of laps counting down actually.
And Burton's back on the tail of Hobson as well, so we're going to see some interesting battles into turn one this next lap around. Jones will be trying to work out how to defend this position. See if she can do that from Dane Warren.
That gap is actually closed at the front as well between Burton and Hobbo. So this is going to be all on for first and second and third and fourth at this stage.
Here comes Warren. Emily Jones could come back here though. This isn't necessarily a good spot to pass because you get a better exit with that wider line and you get the draft as well. So you can see Jones come straight back. Burton's right in within range now too. So will we see a change for position at the front? Burton's going to stick in behind for this part of the lap. Emily Jones, will she make a move? Not quite. We do have a change of position back in the field. Riley Blythe, Jamie McKnight side by side. Oh, Riley Blythe. Good slide, but not the ideal line. Keeps it going though. Looked like McKnight must have got a slowdown because he was very down on pace and then a little bit of a lock wheel and big contact in the end between those cars. We go back live to the front once again. Hobson defending from Jake Burton right on his tail. Oh, a little bit of a moment for Hobson. Managed to hold on.
Another one.
Oh. Burton couldn't quite take advantage, though he couldn't quite get the drive, but saying that the draft is what's helping here, and here comes Burton. As we said, though, not necessarily the best place to pass here. Still 2 laps to go. Turn 1 is the spot.
Burton's got the draft. Is he going to possibly have a look? He's going to go to the inside, so see what happens. Pretty equal under braking, although Hobbo lets him go.
So Hobson's thinking here. He can go this lap, and I'll come back the next one, which is the important one, the last lap. 2 to go.
Yeah, Hobbo's definitely been thinking about this, and the last lap is the lap you want to lead, not the second to last one. So this is going to be very interesting to see whether Hobbo can get the move done next time by.
In the background you can see Emily Jones, Dane Warren back closed up together again. We're going to stay with this lead battle though. Just noticed Marlon McMullen's dropped way down the timesheets as well, back into 18th position, so something's happened to him that we've missed. Possibly a couple of laps ago. On board here with Hobson, we'll see big draft advantage. And he'll get coming out of the final corner and down the front straight. Just within that perfect range here. This is going to be a very, very interesting final lap.
Yeah, Hobbo's just got to make sure he gets a very, very good exit, and then he'll be able to try and at least give it a red hot go into turn 1 here, and it's looking like he's got a pretty decent exit. So Move possibly incoming for Hobson here into turn 1 on Burton. Burton trying everything he possibly can to try and break the draft, but Hobbo's staying there, and it's possibly not going to be close enough, although he's looking to the inside. He's going to give it a go.
Oh, it's the last lap. You've got to give it a bit of a try. Not quite able to do it. In the background, though.
Oh, but it, on the inside. Oh, and she's got oversteer on, bit of contact.
The Jones is still holding on. Doing a very good job. We'll go back to the front, though. Burton. Just a bit of a gap now on Hobson, but Hobbo definitely closing up. It's going to be a very, very tight finish here. Still anyone's race here. One little mistake from either of these drivers will change this race. Burton just doing enough at the moment. Taking the alternate line too to try and break the draft. Force a mistake from Hobson. This is the last spot on the track. Oh, big aggressive move over that curb. No slowdown, so we're still pushing on.
I don't think he's quite close enough, but the battle for third is really on. Dane Warren's all over the back of Emily Jones, giving her a bit of a bump draft there. She's going to go defensive, and Dane's going to have to go around the long way.
Hobson had a big lock-up, so that's ended his chance. So Jake Burton...
Dane Warren's managed to get around the outside of Emily Jones by the looks of it. Yes, he actually has. He's gone around the outside.
Congratulations to
onto the podium.
Jake Burton and Brenton Hobson first and second. Dane Warren finishes this race in third. Well done to him for that pass, and well done Emily Jones, fourth position. What an interesting finish to that race that was.
Yeah, definitely, but it's not over yet for the minors between Riley Blythe and Jamie McKnight at the moment. There was a little bit of contact, but it looks like Jamie's going to hold on for the position that he's currently in.
So McKnight's going to finish this race in 14th position. Blythe will finish in 15th, and they went at it about 3 laps ago as well. So got a Cup Price Racing replay of that. Both looking a bit battered and broken, but made it home, which is always a good sign. And we'll go back to the front. Congratulations, as we said, to Jake Burton, picking up a win in the Monday night official V8 Supercar Series. Run through the race results. Jake Burton, 5/10 of a second in the end over Brenton Hobson in second position. Dane Warren finishes in third with a great pass in the final corner over Emily Jones. Picks up fourth. Kurt Stenberg rounds out the top 5. Stephen Lattimore, great result for him, finishing 6th. Ross Rizzo and Thomas Hinds, the Proforce Racing cars, finish in 7th and 8th. Zach Baker in 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is Martin Carroll.
In 11th, we have John Emerson, followed by Brick Loxton in 12th. 30th goes to Mario Vlasic, followed by Jamie McKnight in 14th, after just holding on from Riley Blythe, who crossed the line in 15th. 16th goes to Cooper Webster, and 17th, Greg Sharp. And we go back to 18th for Mullen McMullen, 19th, Craig Jones, 20th, Corey Preston, 21st, Tyler Blackburn, at 22nd, Michael Taliacic, and at 23rd, Sergio Mayo.
What a race that has been tonight. And next round, as we said, next Monday night, we head to Interlagos for what will be a 26-lap race. So we'll see pit stops once again. Pit stops definitely a little bit of a mix throughout this series, and our next broadcast will be Wednesday night with the Oceanic Sprint Championship. Saturday night we will be back once again with Blancpain Endurance Championship, which was absolutely awesome fun last Saturday night. So get your Saturday night drinks ready and join us Saturday night for Blancpain Endurance Championship, and then Sunday Oceanic Endurance Championship time, round 3, 6 hours of Spa. Sunday morning, the start for that one. And then, as we said, next Monday night, we will be back with Interlagos round 10 of the iRacing official V8 Supercar Series. Cam, thank you so much for jumping in the booth with me, and it was a very, very entertaining race.
Yeah, no worries. It was definitely quite an interesting race with quite a bit of action, so be very good to see what happens next week at Interlagos.
Big thank you to everyone for tuning in. We will be back on Wednesday night. Your winner for round 9 here at Monza. It's been Jake Burton. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.